I just want to remind you today that if you want to live your life with purpose, fulfillment, confidence, it all begins with keeping the promises you made to yourself and staying consistent with that goal, with that aim in mind. You know what I mean? That's where it begins. And the difference between success and failure isn't based on talent or somebody being smart or even being lucky. It's about devotion and consistency. Hey, what's going on, beautiful souls, beautiful people? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. If you are new here, thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button, because I know you're gonna love the rest of the episodes just as much as this one. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm kneeling down because this bench is kind of wet and I have on these gray sweatpants. But anyways, I just want to start by asking a simple question. How often have you started something but quit when it became difficult or the return wasn't quick enough? How many dreams have you let go of? How many goals have you left unfinished because you felt you couldn't keep going? Honestly, if I were to answer, I'd say too many. Like, thinking about my past, I say too many. But that was when I lacked self-respect, confidence, and truly loved myself, because truth be told, you can't have one without the other. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, if self-respect isn't there, it's lacking, then there's no self-discipline or devotion. You know what I mean? It's impossible. You can't have one without the other. But in this season, that is no longer my story. And I know that is no longer your story because you're on this video. You feel me? Like, we are in 2025, we are thriving. There's no more excuses. There's no more of the bullshit. I just want to remind you today that if you want to live your life with purpose, fulfillment, confidence, it all begins with keeping the promises you made to yourself and staying consistent with that goal, with that aim in mind. You know what I mean? That's where it begins. And the difference between success and failure isn't based on talent or somebody being smart or even being lucky. It's about devotion and consistency. Some people like to say discipline, but I prefer the word devotion. I like to be, it just gives me more of a freedom feel versus discipline. So devotion and consistency is being able to show up even on the days when you don't feel like it. It's important for life in general, you know what I'm saying? For your personal development, your business growth, your health, your wealth, anything else that you can think of that's worthwhile. It is important to have that self-respect, that consistency, that devotion, to have a life that you actually want to live. When you lack self-discipline, you're constantly lying to yourself by not doing what you say you're going to do and not following through. And ultimately, who's paying the price? At the end of the day, it's you. It's me if I don't stay consistent and be devoted to what I'm saying for myself. You know what I mean? It's devastating in so many ways because you're lacking the love for yourself. You're lacking the confidence. You're lacking elevating in your life in so many areas. And you can't get to where you want to go if you're not devoted to who you want to be. You know what I mean? You got to know where you're at. You got to know where you're going. And you have to really make plans how to get there. No, we're not going to know 100% the plans, but you at least know the first step. There's something in you telling you to take that first step. Aim and focus. Have that aim in your mind to do something every day towards that goal. The more it's paid for you, the more it becomes clear. And I had to learn this the hard way. Back in my school days, I was quitting teams and not following through on scholarships. Like, I literally could have had a scholarship from NASA in college, but I talked myself out of it. They literally sent me a letter to saying continue on with my suggestion for a mission, write a mission or whatever, and I'm good. But I didn't follow through with it. And that ultimately led to more of lacking confidence and self-respect for myself in those ways. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't keep those promises to myself. I don't know where I could have been if I would have fallen through with so many things. I could have went to state and track. But when they told me that, I stopped going. Like, I lack the self-respect for myself to really see my true potential. And like I said, in this season, it's null and void. We are thriving. We are taking the reins back and starting to love ourselves through it all, and have that confidence and build that trust and build that love within ourselves to exude greatness. To exude greatness. Because it's in us, but by the choices that we make, it depletes. It feels depleted every time by the lack of choices that we make. So think about a friend making promises to you, like going out on a date or taking a trip, or just even saying they're going to come over to do something with you, and they end up flaking. And the more that they flake, the less you believe that they're going to come through. You know what I mean? The less confidence you have in them. Every time they flake, your respect for them takes a hit. Does it not? Straight up. And it's the same with the promises you make to yourself. It's the same thing. You know, whether you're going to go to the gym more often, whether you're going to stop watching porn, whether you're going to eat healthier, journaling, writing a book, creating a newsletter, even creating a YouTube channel. Like, whatever it is that you say that you're going to do and you stop it, like, your confidence gets lower and lower, and eventually other people will notice. They notice in your posture. They notice in the energy that you bring. They notice in the words. They will notice just how you feeling in yourself is going to exude in your everyday life. You can only fake being who you are for so long. Eventually, the truth will come out to the light. You know, we've all been there. You have a goal, and at first you're super excited and motivated, and everything seems possible, and you're ready to go. You got that razzle-dazzle in your walk and your talk, you know what I'm saying? But soon after the excitement fades, the real work begins. Things get in the way. Life slows you down. Like, we slow down and take a break and convince ourselves that we'll get back to it later when things get a little easier. But truth be told, life is always going to throw something in our way. That perfect moment will never come. And waiting for it all to line up is a fallacy. It's a trap. Instead, we have to push ourselves to be consistent even when it feels tough. Even when it feels tough. Even when it seems like nobody's watching. Even when it seems like it's taking too long. Straight up, we live in a society where we want things now and quickly, and it's my money, I need it now. It's my food's taking too long. Like, why are you taking so long in the bathroom type shit? Like, we have to rush to work. We have to be on time. Rushing in every situation. And honestly, you cannot rush greatness. I love that saying. You cannot rush greatness. You have to give your desires, your aims, time to materialize and manifest into this 3D reality, into this world. And how it's going to come about is by being consistent, by believing that it's going to happen, by showing up for yourself even when you feel like you can't. Even when you feel like having an excuse for yourself, like the weather's bad, like I don't feel good. Whatever excuse you're having for yourself, whatever excuse you feel like you're going to have for yourself, throw that shit away. Throw it away. Because we all know motivation fades. But consistency is more powerful than motivation. And if you truly want to reach your potential, you have to embrace this idea. You have to embrace this idea that being consistent is going to get you there. Being devoted to your dream, your aim in life will get you there. Every day, do something with intention to get you there. Do something, whether that be from imagining, whether that be putting something into action that inspires you, whether that be going out and meeting somebody in that same field, or researching. Do something. There's always something to do. Like, we give so much of our time to a job that could care less about us being there. Like, we could be replaced the next few days if we were to quit or get fired. But we're not dedicated to showing up for ourselves. It's a wild concept, really, when you really think about it. It's a wild concept that we can show up day to day to a job, to doing something that is, at the end of the day, really doesn't benefit us in all the ways that it could and can. But the thing on our heart, we just let sit there, knowing that it could fulfill us in so many ways. Even the other people around us, it could fulfill, because that shows when you are doing something from your heart, when you are showing up to whatever goal that you have, whatever dream that you have, when you are showing up for that dream, it shows other people that they can show up for their dream, to believe in themselves, to go after what it is that they want, that's on their heart. It builds confidence as well in them. You loving yourself more is going to open your heart up more to the ones around you, to love you more, to love them more, to have more of a greater bond in a relationship. Trust me, you can bond even more and grow more relationships, even with people that you don't know, just by showing up for yourself and being your authentic self. Like, I just on this YouTube platform, like, meeting strangers is amazing. I never thought that it could be this great, and I know it's just going to be better and better. You know what I mean? Like, it's so different from any other platform, like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok. TikTok is a little more like YouTube, with not knowing the people that you are interacting with. But like, YouTube is a game changer. They say YouTube is the hardest platform to grow on because you don't know anybody, but I feel like that's false, because, bro, once I started putting myself out there more and being more consistent, being more authentic, and just not just regurgitating what I have learned, but putting my own spin on it and on what I have learned and processed through personal development and my experiences, bro, my channel grew double than what it was for the past 2 years. Like, I literally have, as I'm speaking right now, I think 121 subscribers. Sometimes it fluctuates, like, up and down, but I'm pretty sure I have 121 subscribers, and it's growing. And I just thank those people for tuning in and believing in me. I don't even know probably 98% of these people, and I am so, just imagine, like, I'm so thankful, but just imagine, like, 121 people showing up at a party. Like, your party lit. Even 50 people, even 10 people, you have a little kickback. Like, it can get live, it can get crazy, it can get so motivating and so loving just from having 10 people at your party. And that is the same thing on these platforms. Like, 10 people showing up to watch your video, 5-6 people showing up to watch your video, and they don't even know you. That's amazing. That's a blessing, bro. And you just have to understand, being consistent and showing up for yourself, other people will show up for you. Other people will learn to support you in whatever business that you want. I'm just referring to YouTube because that's what I'm on right now. Like, I'm growing my channel, and I see the change in me. I see the change in my channel. You know, life is a mirror. As within, so without. Ask and you shall receive type shit. And it's just a blessing, man. Just staying consistent. And, like, yeah, you can fall off, like a couple days ago, getting to the point in my mind of, it's taking too long. I gotta be more consistent. I have to, it's not growing how I want it to. But like, that's the ego mind of saying something is lacking. You know what I mean? Like, but when you really think about it, but when I really think about it, like I just said, my channel has grown twice what it was from the past 2 years in just 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. So I can only imagine me being more consistent and me believing more in my aim, my goal, my purpose. That's the word I'm looking for. Me believing more in my purpose and walking more in my purpose. It's only going to get better. It's only going to multiply the people that I attract, the people that I help, the people that I show up for and show up for myself. You know what I mean? Like, it can only get better because I'm putting myself out there. I'm showing up. And you should too, because the more you do it, the more you love yourself. The more your tribe can find you. The more you are open to new opportunities. The more the more you do something, the more it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So the more that you put this off, the more that you're gonna put this off. The more that you're going to procrastinate, the more you're gonna make excuses. But when you get out there and stop bullshitting, pussyfooting around, and just do something, do what it is that's on your heart to do. Just do it. Figure out the first step to do. Man, you're gonna find out it's not as hard as you thought. It's not as hard as you thought. You know, just I wouldn't be caught dead making these YouTube videos. I wouldn't be caught dead making videos 5-6 years ago, and so on. But I realize it's on my heart for a reason, and it's the same for you. Like I said, it's a trap waiting for it to be aligned for the perfect moment. So push yourselves to be consistent even when it feels tough, because the more you do that, the tougher you get, the stronger you get. You will reach your potential when you embrace this. Motivation is like a spark. It's exciting at first, it gets you started, but like any fire, it burns out quickly unless you keep feeding it. So once that fire starts, you're either left with a dying flame or a steady burn, and that steady burn is consistency. It's what will keep you going when everyone has given up. It's not smarts, it's not wits, it's not talent, it's not being lucky, it's consistency. So think of motivation as a mood. Some days you wake up feeling unstoppable and ready to take on the world, full of energy, you unfuckwittable, but we all know that doesn't happen every day. Most days you wake up with a list of excuses. Like, that's why you can't rely on motivation. Like I said, because life is always going to throw something your way, and waiting on the perfect conditions will never make progress. But consistency, on the other hand, it doesn't care about your mood. It's about showing up anyway. That's where the power lies. When you stop waiting to feel like it and start just relying on consistency, that's when you become unbreakable. That's when you become unstoppable. That's when you become unfuckwittable. That's when you become the person that you truly love and want to be around. That's when the people start to show up, when you start to show up. It's like flipping a switch in your mind. Instead of waiting for the right moment, you create that right moment through devotion and inspired action. It's no longer about doing the hard work when you feel like it. It's just a non-negotiable part of your day. It becomes you. You know, this is mastering the art of showing up day after day. And this is what will set you apart from the dreamers, from the consumers. This will change your life to where you want to go. This will transmute that energy and materialize the life that you want to live. It's not that you won't face challenges. You absolutely will. Like I said just the other day, I was facing my mind, my ego mind, saying is not quick enough, but you know, or feeling like I'm not doing enough. There's always going to be challenges. But with this, we're training ourselves to keep going when it's hard and uncomfortable, when everyone else is ready to quit. That's the true power of consistency. That's the true power of being devoted to your aim, to your goal. Because it builds habits that are worthwhile. And once those habits are in place, the work becomes automatic. You don't have to find that motivation. It's just like second nature. It becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your identity. Being consistent, showing up for yourself, loving yourself through it all. It becomes you. So build the habits of who you want to be, whether it be a creator, content creator, a musician, a professional cook. You want to travel the world. You want to become a farmer. You want to get out of the mundane life that you have been living, and you want to create something worthwhile for yourself. Take risk. Take risk on yourself and show up for yourself, because nobody else will. Nobody else will create the life that you want to live besides you. And the life that you want to live is waiting on you to go after it. You know what I mean? It's not going to come to you and say, hey, here I am. No, you have to create it. You have to do the work every day. Show up for yourself, if nobody else. And the people around you that love you will start showing up for you too. And they'll start showing up for themselves because they see that it's possible. We have to stop being so selfish and keeping our talents and our gifts and our voice to ourselves. That's huge in 2025. We have to get out of the struggle mindset, the mindset that life should be hard. No, fuck that. Life should be easy. Life should be as easy as we can make it. And we have adopted the concept that life should be hard. You gotta work hard for your money. No, money should be working for you. Money should be used to multiply more money, not just pay bills, not just do what you have to do to take care of business. Nah, life is meant to be enjoyed, man. Life is meant to be enjoyed. So create the habits. Find out what it is that what it's gonna take to live that life. Figure out who your best self, your highest self is. Think about it. Think about that. Like, really get quiet in your mind. Meditate on it. Pray on it. Whatever it is that you believe, for you to get quiet in your mind, do that. And just sit and think about who your best self is, who your higher self is. What is their habits? What do they behave like? What are the actions that they take every day? What are their reactions and their responses to every situation in life? How do they live? What do they eat? What do they drink? Who am I to be that person? What do I have to let go of to live as that person, to live as that new identity, to be conscious of that person? What do I have to let go of, and what do I have to adopt? What habits do I need to create? Who is that person? Ask yourself that. Write it down. And what you write down, read it every day. Feel those letters that you wrote. Read it, feel it, and visualize that person. Living as that person. Not thinking of that person, but living as that person. Living that experience every day. Every day. Every day you wake up or go to sleep, especially when you go to sleep, so you can go to sleep and dream about that person. So you can have that theta state, be in that theta state to really get into your subconscious mind. Because our mind is like plastic, neuroplasticity, really. I'm studying that, and everything that, all of how we have grown up, our habits, our environment, all of who we identify as is how we grew up, is everything that we have learned. But as a baby, we were just pure. We knew nothing. We came with no identity. And from our name, from our environment where we lived, the things that we experienced, what we learned, what we could and couldn't have, shaped us into who we are today. But it's not the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are is pure potential. Think of how you were as a baby. You were pure potential. And if you grew up with different parents in a different environment, you would have had that type of potential to become who they were, to become who they wanted you to be from that environment, from everything you learned. But since you know that, since we can change and manipulate who we are going to be in our everyday life by creating new habits, by thinking in different ways, by speaking to ourselves in different ways, all of the areas in our life we can change. If that makes sense. That means that you can co-create, should I say, because everything is already created. We can co-create who we want to live as. That, and by adopting our best self and letting go of the lack mindset and worrying about what people think and worrying about what somebody may or may not do and how things are going to work out, and just live off of the thought of who we want to be and live every day to become that person, be that new identity, that higher self, that best you. If you can work towards that every day, there's no stopping you. You will see more and more every day. Things will become clearer of, damn, all that shit was a lie. All that bullshit. Everything is not me. I can choose and am choosing who I want to be. And you will empower other people to do the same. You will live the life that you desire once you really allow it into your life. And that's how you do it, by creating new habits of who that person is, by adopting the behavioral patterns of that person, of that new identity, that best self, that best you. So like I said, write it down. Think about that. And start to be consistent, to love yourself more, to have that self-respect, to be empowered, to be encouraged, and just elevate in your life. Just elevate. Grow. That's what life is about, growth and learning and loving. If you learn to love and forgive all of your past, all of the baggage, everything that's been holding you back, if you forgive all that shit, all the people, yourself included, you'll feel free. You'll feel light. You'll be able to fly. You'll be able to fly, my friend. You'll be able to soar. You'll be able to elevate. Straight up, if you let go of that baggage and all the things that are holding you back, all of those limiting beliefs and all of that. A belief is just something that is connected in your mind, that has been processed over and over and over again. But once you create new beliefs, those old beliefs will wither away. They don't feel so strong anymore. They weaken because our brain, our mind is plastic in a sense. It can create and fire and new wires together to become stronger, and the old ones will become weak and null and void. Understand, you are more powerful than you think, man. You are more powerful than you think, woman, whoever I'm talking to. I just say man a lot because I'm from Texas, but you can be that person. I promise you. I'm talking to myself too. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's grow. And once again, forgiveness is not for anybody but you. No one else. Think about it. You are holding on to all this anger and all this hurt. It's like you taking the poison. It's like you having the poison and thinking that you're hurting them, but you're the only one that poison is poisoning. And that poison meaning that anger, that hurt, that resentment, it's not hurting nobody but you. And if you really want to get to the point of growth, when you don't even have to verbally talk to the person that you're forgiving. It can be energetic. You don't even have to talk to the person ever again if you don't want to. It can just be energetic for you to let that pain, that hatred, that hatred go in your heart. I'm telling you, your heart will be so much happier. Your body, your mind, your soul will be so much happier when you let all of that shit go. And trust me, the growth is every day. Like, there's always something to learn and grow from. But start with what you have now so you can see the potential that you can get to. It's not going to happen unless you allow it. And what you're allowing right now is not working for you because you're watching this video. So learn to love yourself enough to let the shit go. Let the limiting beliefs go. Let the hurt go. Let the hatred go. So you can be more confident, more consistent with what you believe. With what your goals are. Because that's the only way you're going to live them, is if you start to believe in yourself. That's the only way you're going to be consistent, if you know that it's going to work out for you. But having those experiences in your life and keeping them near and dear to your heart, actually hurting you, it's not working. Honestly. So, with that being said, I don't know how long this video is, but I hope it helps. Write in the comments what you want to let go of. Write in the comments what your aim is, how you're going to be consistent in 2025. I would love to have these conversations with like-minded people. So let's go, let's get it. And hit that like button, subscribe button, and be empowered, be encouraged, be great, and elevate. Peace.